Okay, this man is unhinged. And we need this man to figure it out. But guys, these are my initial thoughts of episodes 9 and 10. And really my one takeaway is that I feel like a lot of this stuff was really pointless. I feel like it's just like, okay, well, we've got 12 episodes, so we've got to like drag this out. And there was a point by episode 10 where I was like, I really don't care, number one. And number two, none of these people are actually going to build any new connections. What is the point of bringing in this brand new person into this house if they're not going to make an actual perfect match connection? Everyone here is just pulling at straws, and I just found it like completely pointless at this point. And it's actually sad because like I genuinely really liked this show, but I'm just feeling like with episodes 9 and 10, I'm feeling a little bit like, okay guys, we're going around in circles here. Nothing really new is happening. A lot of the juicy and the drama kind of simmered off a little bit. I mean, episode 10 brought it back up, which we will get into. But yeah, those are my initial thoughts of episodes 9 and 10. And I will be doing, obviously, 11 and 12. So guys, make sure you're subscribed so that way you'll know when I post the next video for episodes 11 and 12. So let's get into my recap for episode 9. And I brought the notebook out because the notebook is always here for a ride with me, guys. But okay, so we start off episode 9 with everyone playing a game. Everyone's playing cards or whatever, and Damien and everyone basically at the end, most people jump into the pool naked. Damien is an interesting character, and I honestly find him incredibly boring, and I know a lot of people like agreed with me in the comments, so thank you. And maybe that's why him and Francesca somehow work, because I find them both really boring and like literally never change their facial expression. Someone pointed that out to me in the comments, and I was like, oh my god, you're right. Francesca's always like has the same face and it never changes. Thank you. You opened my eyes. Thank you. But then we had Inez. Oh yeah, it's Inez. I've been saying Inez because it's just the I. There's an I. So, but people were saying like, you're saying her name wrong. I was like, okay, fine. It's Inez. Okay, Inez. So Inez and Damien are being all flirty, and Damien's like picking her up in the pool, and it's so obvious that he's doing all of this just to make Francesca jealous. And the funny part is that everyone else around can totally tell that he's doing that just to make Francesca jealous. And it's gold. I mean, it's so obvious. Like, he's literally picking her up, and then he would like picking up Inez, and then he like looks over Francesca to see if he's looking at her pick her up, and
don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious,
doing all these like things with her that are like sexy. And I'm like, okay, Damien, you ain't fooling anyone. Okay, my god. And poor Inez for this whole season, just in general, and poor to the person who ever has to be on a date with Bartiste, which ends up being a lot of people, and I hate it. I still do not like that man, but we will get into it. But anyway, Chloe and Mitch are back from their date, and actually, before we get into that, Francesca and Carousel, for some odd reason, just start making out, and Abby is not about it. She like walks away. She's just like, I don't understand. Like, why would she do that? Like, that's not something you would do. You know what? I get it, and I get it, and they'll talk about it later, and I'll talk more about what I thought about it. But really, it's why? But it is what it is. Then we have Chloe and Mitchell come back from their date, and remember, guys, a little recap from the last episode. At the end of that episode, Mitchell had told her that he was not ready for a relationship. Which, granted, why are you on this show, and why would you have done that and just put a wrench in basically like the relationship Chloe was building with Shayne? Like, why'd you have to mess that up just like for your own self? Like, Mitchell just rubbed me the wrong way, and it just wasn't right that he did that to her. I live for Chloe, and I think that was just effed up, in my opinion, that he did that to her. But Chloe ends up bringing Georgia to the side and tells her what happened with Mitchell and about how he's not ready, and she's just thinking a lot about Shayne and that she messed that up, etc., etc. Mitchell basically goes and tells Dom that he wants to shoot his shot with Georgia. I was like, dude, you just walked into the house and Dom and Georgia have been like two peas in a pod for like however many days, 14 days they've been in there. I don't really know, 2 weeks. I don't know how long it's been. Like, please. Your chances are zero. I'm just going to say are zero at this point. It was just really random. I was like, really? Georgia, you're going to go for the girl that's literally been in a straight up relationship with some other person for like over a week? No. No. And the next morning, basically, we have Abby confronting Fran about the makeout and about how, she's not on board with that and that she might want to pursue other options. And Francesca says this weird thing, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, because I guess that's not just something like I would do either. But Francesca's like, oh, well, we make out all the time. Like, it's just for fun. Like, there's no romantic feelings, like, whatsoever. Like, she's clearly dating Joey, and they're, like, in a loving relationship. Like, we just do that for fun. And I just remember being like, okay? But, like, and now putting aside, like, homosexual and heterosexual relationships, like, I feel like it should be the same both ways. Like, if I were dating a guy or getting to know a guy and we're all at a party and, like, we've matched and we're like, yeah, we're getting to know each other and I really like you, we spend one night together, and then the next day you're going to go and make out with someone in front of me and then just say it doesn't mean anything, and it's, like, that would be weird because, like, I know, like, it's the same thing, like, if a girl would go and make out with my guy who I've been talking to, like, that would be, and my guy would just be like, oh, yeah, no, that doesn't mean anything. We're just friends. We're just having fun. Like, you'd be like,
no, ma'am.
I don't think that's right. So, the fact that Francesca's, like, able, like, to kind of, like, pass it off just because, like, she's bisexual, and it's like, oh, well, she's in a relationship, it's, like, it's weird. And I don't really agree with it, and I kind of understand where Abby was coming from. I don't know, let me know in the comments below if you kind of see if you agree with Abby or Francesca in this case, but I kind of leaned with what Abby was saying. I just felt like it wasn't the right choice in my opinion. But anyway, we move into the boardroom, and Mitchell and Chloe have got to create some magic for some people, right? And they choose Diamond to go on a date with Bartiste.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
I cannot stand that. Like, literally, guys, I'm not kidding. Anytime he was on screen and he was like, oh, come here, give me a hug, give me a hug. I literally just could not, I can't even look at the man's face. It's because, like, everything that comes out of his mouth, I just feel like is just genuine. Like, I just don't like this man. And man, Love is Blind really effed my opinion of him up, because I cannot stand him. And I feel so bad that yet again, Diamond is being put on a date with this guy when there were so many other options. Like, put Calvin in there, please. Or even give Zay a chance as well. But no, they went with Bartiste. And I'm like, guys, have you not seen Love is Blind Season 2? Did you not see? And also, if you saw this man said he's not ready for marriage on Love is Blind Season 2, and we have a girl from Love is Blind Season 1 who clearly wants to get married, why would you match them? Sorry, that's my rant. That's my rant. But it's stupid, and I feel so bad for Diamond. And I feel bad, actually. I feel like this show hasn't done a really good job of setting up Black women with actual potential matches. Every Black woman who has been on this show has literally just been kicked off the next day or that same day. And I don't like that. I just feel like they haven't been given the actual opportunity to put people that they actually might match with in this house, and it's just, like, unfortunate, really unfortunate. But anyway, we have Inez, and she's talking, I forget who she's talking to, but she's basically worried, she's talking to Abby. She's basically worried about Fran and Damien, because she sees them kind of, like, flirting, and freaking Francesca's kind of flirting with Damien, and I just don't like this back and forth situation, but whatever. And she's like, like, I just hope that it's genuine and it's not for strategic purposes. And guys, Inez is one of those people on this show that I truly believe, and I've said this before in my other videos, that was truly there, like, trying to find her perfect match. Yeah, she jumped from person to person, but she was literally being like, okay, do I match with you? Not feeling it. Do I match with you? Not feeling it. You know, like, she was, like, playing the game correctly, and it just sucks because no one in this house is her match, and she's just been kind of, like, effed over just to be kept in the house for strategic purposes. So she's just like, I just hope it's genuine and that it's not a strategic thing, because I'd rather it be that, because that's just wrong. And I get that. Oh, okay. Right. So this whole time they've been in the boardroom, Chloe and Mitchell, and the tape, we see Shayne, but we don't know where Shayne is going to be put. And then Mitchell comes back to the house from the boardroom, and he is by himself. And it was not a trick, because Chloe took herself on a date with Shayne. And you know what? Thank you. Good job to Chloe. I'm glad she did. Because Mitch really effed her over, and I'm glad. And you know what? He's just like, everyone was shocked. And Carousel's the stupidest thing, but in her defense, she didn't know what happened at their date, most likely, but she was like, what? Like, you guys were the strongest in the house. Like, what the hell? And I'm like, okay, they were only the strongest in the house because they had a past, and then they got together for this moment. Kind of like her and Joey. But clearly, like, they realized while talking that this was not the right thing for them, and that they needed to move on. And you know what? Fine. But most people just didn't know in the house, so I think that's why they were shocked that Chloe left, but I wasn't shocked. We already knew. He literally told her, I don't want to be in a relationship. And Chloe's like, all right, well, gotta go. We move on. Diamond, they announced that, then Mitchell announces that Diamond's going to go on a date, and she has to leave Will. And Will, to the cameras, is just like, oh, well, that's fine. I'm okay with it because I didn't have a genuine connection with her. I was like, poor Diamond. Guys just using her just to stay in the house. It's just not good. And then Will goes on again to say that this is a competition. And I'm like, guys, what competition? You're not winning money. Like, you're competing for what? For lying and saying, I like this girl enough to be my perfect match? But God, oh my God, it actually irks me that he keeps calling this a competition. Because there's no money. You're not winning anything. Okay. Oh my God. Then we move on to Chloe surprising Shayne, and it's a beautiful moment, guys. Everyone's happy. Chloe jumps into the arms of Shayne. He's so happy she's there. She's so happy to see him. He's like, you're like, oh, you're the one. Like, she's just so into Shayne. Like, so into him. Really, really likes him. And guys, I will say, they have a really cute connection. Very good chemistry. I do see it. They have really kind of similar personalities. Very loud and just out there. Like, Shane's not that crazy loud, but he's, like, out there. I see how that can be a match. But it's not a match when we get to episode 10 where shit really hits the fan. But we'll get there. Be patient with me. We'll get there. Yeah, they end up playing with this, like, little monkey. It's really hilarious. I actually didn't know it was a monkey at first. I thought it was, like, some squirrel-looking thing or, like, a ferret, but it was a monkey. So that was really funny. She continues to tell him, to reassure him, like, she's 100% committed to him, and she's really sorry about what had happened, and she realized, like, that there is nothing going on with them, and she's only committed to him. And he just says, I am a little bit worried about getting into the same situation again. Then we have Diamond and Bartiste on their date, and again, I just continue to feel bad for Diamond because she's on this date, and I know that this man is not interested in her, and I also know he's not interested in marriage or anything that Diamond wants, so to me, this was just like a complete waste of a date. Just complete waste. So we move back to the house, the dates come back, and Chloe pretends that Shayne didn't come back. She's like, yeah, he said that he couldn't forgive me and he stormed out. And I was like, I don't believe this even for a second. There's absolutely no way this is real because I just saw their interaction and they were like making out and super happy to be together. Like, there's no way like things flipped the switch. I mean, they did that on purpose because the last time we saw him, you did have him tell Chloe that he was worried about getting into the same situation, like how I said. So I think that was their way of kind of like possibly tricking you. But I didn't fall for it this time. You got me with Damien and Francesca, but you ain't getting me with this. But they did end up getting everyone else in the house, and they were like super mad. They're like, why'd you do that? Whatever. Then that night, guys, Francesca starts talking to Will, and then Will just confesses to her that he's been like into her and wanting to talk to her. And I'm like, why? What about Francesca, other than the fact that she's got like maybe like a nice skinny nice body, is appealing to people? She is so boring. Like, I can understand Georgia. Georgia to me is a commodity. Like, I'm not a commodity. Georgia to me seems like the genuine sweetest soul in that house. Like, and Chloe as well. They just seem like genuine, like super sweet women. But Francesca, nothing about her screams sweet. Nothing about her screams funny. She is, I don't get the obsession. I don't get it. But anyway, that comes from left field, and she's kind of possibly entertaining the idea. Then Abby and Fran talk, and they eventually decide like they're not good for each other because Abby's just not okay with that whole thing that Francesca was doing, like hanging out with other girls, and Abby's never been in like an actual relationship with a girl, but it's new to her, new territory, so they just decide, you know what, we're not the right match. So good for them because they were not. And then we have Shayne and Chloe. They're hitting it off. They're having fun. They're kissing. They're excited to get back together, all that jazz. And then we have Damien and Inez, and she pretty much tells him, like, hey, there's two kinds of love, good love and bad love. Good love is the love that helps you grow, etc. And bad love is, toxic, and they're not helping you. They're kind of holding you back. And I think what you're looking for is bad love, and that's not what I want. And, he does tell her that he is still interested in Francesca and wants to pursue that. And she's just like, okay, I understand. And she says her goodbyes. And then she goes on to tell the group that she's going to be leaving. And guys, at this point, Nick Lachey has said, like, anyone who does not feel like their perfect match in this house is here, you need to leave tonight. So it's not like about finding a match, kind of. It's more of like you like thinking to yourself, like, is my perfect match here? If not, I'm going home. And Inez is the first one to start that. She's like, all right, guys, I'm leaving home, and I'm leaving. And everybody's like, what? And I'm like, guys, you all know she doesn't have a match. Like, you all know. And, good for her. She was just like, I'm not going to put myself, like, down. I'm not going to, just pick someone for strategy. Like, I'm here to find my perfect match. And if it's not here, if I can't find the person who can meet me on my level, then I'm not meant to be here. And you know what? Good for you, Inez. She played this game the correct way. And for that, I like you. Mitchell then shoots his shot with Georgia, and I'm like, dude, why? This is Mitchell hitting a wall because stupid. I'm like, dude, like what? Number one, and Georgia basically says, well, one, Chloe's my friend, so I'm not ever gonna do that, and two, I am solid with Dom. Like, I'm solid. We've had a lot of ups and downs with people trying to separate us, and we've always come back to each other. And I really, really like Dom, and I want to be with him, and that's it. And she shoots him down, and I'm like, good. Trustworthy, and I like you. Bartiste is talking to Abby. I don't want to talk about it. Again, ew. We have Will and Diamond, and Will basically just tells Diamond straight up, like, yeah, to be honest, like, I went and I spoke with Francesca, and I want to pursue that. And Diamond's not happy. She's pretty much like, oh, really? Like, why didn't you tell me before that you were interested in talking to her? Why? Because he just wanted to stay in the house. That's why, Diamond. And she knows that, and she pretty much is like, taps him on the knee, and she's like, okay, well, I'm leaving then. And then she just walks out, and she sends herself home as well. And then Mitchell as well decides to send himself home because he does not find his perfect match here either. And these are all, I agree with all these people. I agree. Leaving, they just weren't going to find their perfect match. Then Fran goes back to Damien, and After Fran goes back to Damien, Will's like, okay, well then I'm going home too. And I said, thank God, because you had no right being on this show. Goodbye. You will not be missed even 1%. Then the episode ends with maybe some trouble in Carousel and Joey land? Could it be possible they're having this conversation, which I don't know how this didn't happen before, or if it has, I don't really know. But she wants to get married, and he's not sure if he wants to. So yeah, that was episode 9. It was a little bit of a sleeper in my opinion. Not much really happened. That was too much. So let's just get straight into episode 10, because that one did have some good drama, especially towards the end. So let's get into it. So the episode starts off with a challenge, and it's basically all the couples that are left in the house. This is the final challenge as well. Have to go into the boardroom, and they have to answer true and false questions about their partner. So they just need to see who learned the most about them. And it's like questions like, does this person want kids? Does this person want to get married in 2 years? Does this person want to be in an open relationship? Like things like that. And then the last question everyone had to answer was, do you think blank is your perfect match? And that becomes a situation for Abby and Bartiste. Let's just say Abby and Bartiste did not do those questions right. But in the end, Joey and Carousel win the challenge. And I'm not surprised. They're clearly the most, would know the most about each other, are the most crazy about each other. I actually find it kind of ridiculous that they're even, why we're even continuing the show, because I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe something happens, but we have 2 episodes left. How could they not be the perfect match? I don't know. But Abby and Bartiste talk about the question that they get wrong about being the perfect match. And basically what happened was Bartiste said false, as in he does not think that Abby is his perfect match, and Abby said she does think that Bartiste is her perfect match. Now, where they went wrong, and we'll talk about, just to skip ahead, basically, what ended up going wrong was that they both kind of answered the questions thinking of the question very differently. Because Abby was, both of these people have just met each other, so they're not, they're kind of testing the waters. They're I think I like her, but I don't know if she's my perfect match yet. It's been a day. So that's a very trick question, but they both basically interpreted the question differently, which made them answer the wrong question. Or answer it incorrectly. But we have Joey and Carousel. They go on the date. He said he wants to move on to the next step and move in together. Blah, blah, blah. Don't care. Then we have these really awkward conversations come up within the group where they start talking about threesomes and open relationships, basically revolving around Francesca. Because Francesca's like, oh, I'm the one who answered being in an open relationship. And people are like, what? Oh my God. I couldn't be with anybody else, etc. And Damien's there, who's the person she's matched with. And he's just kind of quiet and uncomfortable and just doesn't say anything. He is so bland. I have never seen such a bland person. Why do we continue to put this man on reality TV? He is not the type of person for reality TV. And he was technically more fun on Love is Blind season 2 because he had Gianna, who was really pushing his buttons, and it caused drama. Anytime he's on screen, he is vanilla and he is boring. And anyway, they go on to talk about threesomes and how she's had so many threesomes and they're the best and all these really weird things. And everyone's just completely awkward because they can tell that, Damien feels kind of weird about it but isn't saying it, and it's just awkward. An incredibly awkward conversation. And then we have in the boardroom Carousel and Joey. And Carousel asks at the end, after they've put the 2 people on the date that they want to, which is basically Abby and Bartiste, well, before they do the final things, Carousel asks Joey if he wants to go on a date with anybody else. I was like,
what the fuck is going on in here on this day?
Was this a test? What? Why? Why are you asking this question? What? Why? Oh God, I was over it. I was like, guys, this is stupid. It is ridiculous. But in the end, they decided to put Nick and Abby on a date, and LC from Love is Blind season 1 and Bartiste. Again. Poor LC. Clearly a girl who wants to get married, and you're putting her with Bartiste. this man, again. Then we have, it's a really cute moment. Chloe's like talking to Georgia. She's like, I want to learn to, let's do a rap together for our guys. Like showing them like how much we care about them, because words of affirmation is like really important. It's a love language for Shayne, and I want to show him like, you know, that I care. It was very cute. I loved the idea. It was very, very cute. But anyway, we move on. We go back to Bartiste and Abby talking again about what happened with the miscommunication of the true and false questions. I really don't care at this point. And the reason why I don't care is because this is episode 2, and there is no, there's 2 episodes left. This is episode 10, and there's no way that you guys are going to get to the point where you're going to be like, yeah, this is my perfect match. It's 4 days. This is pointless, and you're wasting my time, and I don't care to watch this. So then we move on to Elsie and Nick back in the house. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention all the dates came back. It's not important. It's just not important to talk about. So Elsie and Nick are talking, and Nick said that he's interested in Elsie. He always had an eye on her before the show, etc., etc. So they kind of like flirt and have a little something, and Elsie keeps calling Bartiste and Nick gorgeous, and I'm like, they're not gorgeous. They're not gorgeous, but a moment of silence for calling those people gorgeous. Just a moment of silence. Georgia and Chloe find their time to perform their raps, and it's super cute. The guys love them, and Georgia does hers for Dom, and he's like, oh, you're so cute, I loved it, blah, blah, blah. And then Chloe does hers, and in the end of the rap, guys, if you've ever seen The Bachelor is the only time in life you are allowed to use the term falling in love. And the fact that other shows have now picked this up, it literally grinds my teeth so badly. But she tells Shayne that she's falling in love with him. Falling in love.
Well,
she's falling in love with him. Guys, it's been like maybe a week? Maybe? Falling in love, Chloe. Chloe, you do not know this man. You are not falling in love with him. Then we go around Damien again. Damn boring, talking to Francesca. God, about how he's into her and he wants her to be like who she is, and he helps like, you know, make him a better guy. All these crappy, annoying stuff that I really don't believe and don't care. Then this is when the drama starts to heat up in this episode, and Shayne and Chloe just have a little hiccup because he still has questions about what happened, you know, with the whole Mitchell thing. And I kind of blame LC because LC's the one who started to put these like doubts in his mind. I think if LC hadn't brought this up, he would have been smooth sailing. But she pretty much started to make him feel insecure without wanting to do that. Because she's just like, well, why did she pick Mitchell over you? Like, did she give you a reason? Like, I don't know, I would feel insecure. All these things that she was telling herself about how she would feel. And because of that, he took on that weight, he took on that emotion, and he started to feel insecure. And you want to know what happens when Shayne feels insecure, guys? He reacts to every single thing in a negative way and shuts down and doesn't want to talk and wants to leave the show. And boy, were those emotions on high this evening. He basically questions, he takes Chloe to the side and basically questions, like, oh, why did this happen? I'm still have reservations. Like, why did you do this? Like, why did you pick Mitchell over me? And she pretty much tries to explain to him, like, listen, we had a pass, and then we realized, like, that just wasn't there, and I know that was wrong, and I've apologized for that, and she has done her part. But this is the crazy thing, is that Shayne still can't get over the fact that the whole water thing, remember we talked about basically when she picked Mitchell, and Shayne and Bartiste were left on the bottom, they both jumped into this infinity pool and it dropped water on them. And the way Shayne interpreted that was that she was celebrating her love with Mitchell and did that on purpose. And she's just like, I didn't do that on purpose. Like, I didn't even know you were there. He literally threw me in the water. He's like, yeah, but what did you guys do after that? And I was like, sir. Like, he is so insecure about this relationship. He is very insecure, and this is why he's shutting down. But, she tries to go back to talk to him, and he's like trying to get, advice from Francesca, which I'm like, please, run away. Go to Dom. Go to someone with a more sensible head. Do not go to Francesca to ask advice about this. But, Chloe goes after him, and she's like, hey, like, let's talk. And he's just like, no, like, I want to talk to Francesca first. And then she's just like, well, like, I'm trying to talk to you. And then that's when he starts to bring up the whole, like, water thing again. And she's just like, I did not do that on purpose. I wasn't celebrating the fact that I had let you go. Like, I wasn't doing that. And he's taking this so hard. And then that's when he's just like, well, what did you do after? And she's like, oh my God, I can't. And she walks away, and she's super pissed. And then Shayne reacts to her walking away as to the fact that she's given up and she doesn't care about the relationship. And everybody in the house is like, dude, you are an idiot. Like, go and talk to your girl. Go figure this out. Like, she is your perfect match. And he's just like so stubborn. But eventually he goes up there. And at this point, who knows how much time has passed. But Chloe is not about it. She comes into the room like trying to be like, oh, like, let's talk now. And she's just like, no. Like, I want to talk about this in the morning. Like, I'm really tired. I just want to go to sleep. We'll talk in the morning. And he takes this as, well, you know what? I'm leaving. I don't want to talk to you in the morning. And she's like, what did she just say? He's like, I don't want to talk to you in the morning. I'm leaving. And literally walks out of the door.
Again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit.
And then for some odd reason, walks into Dom and George's room when they're in their, whatever, they're sleeping or doing whatever the fuck they were doing. He walks into their room and he's like, I'm leaving. I'm fucking leaving. I'm leaving. That was the end of the episode. And one of my favorite things that Joey has ever said on this show was, Shayne, you need to grow the fuck up. And I said, first time I ever agree with Joey. That was a lot I just said, but guys, the man is unhinged. He has serious issues. He's very clearly insecure about himself, about the relationships that he is in. I mean, this girl literally just made a rap telling you that she really cares about you, that she's 100% committed to you, that she's really into you. And then you're going to go and like sulk about it in the back and start moving backwards and being like, well, she did this to me, blah, blah, blah. Like, she already told you, she apologized, she explained what happened, and then you're making her feel more like shit for what she did. Everyone is not perfect. Everyone's gonna make mistakes. She is trying to move past that mistake, and you keep bringing it up, and when she's trying to tell you, like, no, like, I care about you, you are so insecure that you are making this relationship a shit show. You are messing it up for yourself. And I'm going to go right now and watch episodes 11 and 12 because I am chomping at the bits to see where episode 11 lies. I'm pretty sure it'll just be like they talk in the next morning and he's just like, I overreacted. Whatever. That's probably what's going to happen because they always hype us up to these like crazy levels and then they bring it back down and everybody calms and everything's fine. And they talk about how they exaggerated. But I personally think that this man needs therapy. He needs to figure it out himself. He needs to gain more confidence in himself because he is very insecure. Very insecure. And I don't think this relationship could work in real life. And it's not because of Chloe. I actually think it's because of Shayne. Shayne needs to work on himself before he gets into any relationship. He needs to work on himself. And with that being said, I'm going to go watch episodes 11 and 12, and I'm going to be doing a recap for that next. So make sure you're subscribed so you can see that. If you have not seen any of my previous recaps, please check out this playlist right over here. And guys, let me know in a comment below what you thought of episodes 9 and 10. Are you kind of feeling the same way I am with this whole, like, what's the kind of point? At this point, what is the point? I kind of just want to get to the end. I actually don't even know why we need 2 more episodes. Because I think they're just stretching this out. And I don't really like the fact that they're stretching it out. But anyway, guys, I will see you in the next episode. Please don't forget to like this video. And like I said, please check out my other reaction and recaps. And I will see you next time. Bye!